Tell us a story. Tell us a story.
What song is that?
I just
She
made it
just
up.
made it
Oh.
up.
Bitch.
You
Got
should
musical
be
talent.
impressed.
Choir kid.
I'm sharing Mad Honey.
It's been on my list.
Really?
So I'm glad you're reading it.
Really?
So I don't have to.
Oh my gosh, you guys. It just is such a beautiful, important, empowering story that I honestly hope everybody reads it. Like, I still hope you read it even after I share it.
Yeah, I love those books, but I'm like, I can't do this justice.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to do this justice. I read this book sometime last year, probably, I don't know when I read it, a while ago. And I loved it then. I'm probably the one that recommended it to you because I recommend it to everyone. And then when I reread it, it just hit me so much more. And I was so emotional this go around, like ugly crying. I feel like I understood the first time I read it, but the second time I feel like I got it. Because, like, I knew how it ended. I knew what was coming, and I knew, like, as they were laying the groundwork, I knew why they were laying that groundwork. Anyway.
Cool.
They did a beautiful job
I'm
writing
excited.
this story.
Cool.
Who wrote it?
So it has 2 authors.
Oh. Plot twist already.
I know. It's actually really cool because one of them is named Jenny, and I think the other one's named Jody. I don't remember last names. But one of them just tweeted, I just had a dream. I co-wrote a story with, and then named this other author. And then the other author saw it and was like, well, what was the story about? And then,
let's do it.
yeah, they shared the plot line and they're like, hey, we're doing this.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's so cool because every other chapter is from a different character's perspective. And one author wrote the one character's perspective, the other author wrote the other character's perspective.
So cool.
I never would have guessed that it was 2 different authors because it was so seamless. So, but it was kind of cool to hear, like, that
It's
was
hard to
their
do,
writing.
I feel.
Yeah. Can you even imagine?
That's really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, like, very impressive. Okay, so we meet Olivia. Olivia is Asher's mom.
Okay. Asher.
Asher is dating a girl named Lily. Lily's dad is no longer in the picture, and there's some strange relationship going on between Lily and her dad. Asher's dad also isn't in the picture because he was quite abusive to his mom, so she left him when he was 6. So that's who we know so far.
Okay.
Olivia, Asher, Lily. Asher, Lily. Kiss.
What?
Together? Are they dating? Okay, you said that. Okay.
The story starts where Asher calls his mom, Olivia, and says, Mom, I'm at the police station. You gotta come down. I think Lily is dead.
What the heck? That's how it starts?
Mm-hmm.
How do you
Well,
meet?
we meet the characters,
Yeah.
and then it starts like that.
Good grief.
So Olivia goes down to the police station. Asher is being questioned because he was the one that discovered Lily. They had been fighting, and Lily kind of was ignoring Asher. And so Asher went over to her house just to, like, let's talk this out. And when he got there, the door was open, and she was at the bottom of the stairs unconscious.
Dang.
So he, like, picked her up, moved her to the couch, called the police. And that's all we know. But the police is a little bit like, well, why did you move her? Why didn't you call us first? Why didn't you let us handle it?
But in that moment, sometimes you're so traumatic and you hate her seen in that position. You want, like, her to be comfortable, or you know how your brain works? Like,
for sure. Like, you get it, right? But also, like,
don't mess with a crime scene.
Exactly. But also, there's, like, some holes in this story. He doesn't have an alibi. He was the only one there. Lily's dead. What happened? Why? Why? There's just this question. But the police let him go. Have no reason to suspect him.
Okay.
At the funeral, the police take him to the police station, question him again.
Oh, wow.
Things still aren't adding up, and so they arrest him.
It's like my worst fear.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Which is true, but
You can still arrest someone who's
you still,
not
yeah,
necessarily
even
guilty.
if you suspect, you still arrest them. Olivia has honey hives, owns a honey.
Beehives?
Yeah.
I
beehives.
literally thought hives, like, she has a skin condition.
Oh, man.
Which,
My bad.
why? I don't
That's
know.
on me.
No, it's
Never
not.
How do you say that though? Owns hives?
The
Has-
beehive, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, but do you say like, oh, what do you do for work? I own hives.
I think you can be like a bee farmer, like a
She's a beekeeper.
beekeeper. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Olivia's a beekeeper.
We got there.
Okay, Olivia's a beekeeper.
And so she like makes enough to like have a living,
Cool.
but does not have enough to post bail for Asher.
Yeah.
So he's in jail for I think like 4 months.
Dang, Asher.
I know.
Wait, how did they? Hold on, I'm fine. They arrested him enough to put him in jail.
Yeah, because he is suspected for murder.
If he's suspect number
What's
one,
the evidence? Oh, you were the founder?
Does it add up? hmm
Okay.
And nobody else was there. Nobody was at the scene of the crime. She's dead.
Okay.
And like they could post bail. He could be out of jail if they had enough money.
Okay.
So he's just in jail, like awaiting trial, and trial doesn't happen overnight.
How old are they?
They're in high school senior year,
Okay.
maybe junior year. So 16, 17, 18.
Oh, they just youngins.
They're youngins, yeah. Each chapter goes from Olivia's perspective to Lily's perspective.
Okay.
It starts on the same day, but Olivia's perspective moves forward while Lily's moves backwards.
No, it's kind of like the last 5 years.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, love it.
For theater nerds.
Welcome. I'm the theater nerd.
Okay, so now it's Lily's perspective. We know that Lily has moved across the country with her mom because they were looking for a fresh start, but we don't really know why. We know that she has a strained relationship with her dad, but we don't really know why. And we also know that Lily's depression sometimes gets really bad, that she self-harms. Asher is really excited to give Lily her Christmas present, so he decides to give it to her early. They end up at this diner outside of town, and they walk in, and Lily sees her dad.
Whoa.
That was the
Alright.
Christmas present. Surprise!
Oh,
oh.
I found your dad. You guys can reconnect. Asher thinks he's doing this like awesome sweet
I was
thing.
gonna say, it's a little much.
Asher.
He's
Lily?
young. He's a junior or a senior, remember? He doesn't know stuff.
He doesn't know stuff. Lily doesn't take it well because things are strained with her dad.
Yeah.
And this is why they were fighting. Remember how I said they
Yep.
had been fighting? They haven't been in communication for a while. This is why. Because Lily did
She's
not
like,
want to see her dad.
yeah, like, and that's kind of overstepping. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Asher doesn't really get it because he doesn't have a relationship with his father either because of the history and the abuse. But he's always wanted a relationship with his dad. And he's like constantly trying to like work towards that. And so he's kind of like, well, this is what I want. So obviously this is what Lily wants.
Mhm.
While they're no contact with each other, Asher's still trying to like reach out like, hey, talk to me. What's going on? Why are you upset? And Lily doesn't respond every time he texts. They haven't like broken up, but like she just needs space. But he also is worried that she's no contact because she's self-harmed before.
Mm.
And so he's like, hey, don't
Worried
get to that
about you.
place. I'm worried about you. Like, make sure you're taking care of yourself. And she was sick. I missed school a couple of days. And so again, Asher's like, hey, I heard you were sick. Like, are you sick? Or are you sick? Like, I'm just worried about you.
Okay.
A lot of the story, it's from Olivia's perspective. So a lot of it is about, like, her memories of, like, Asher as a kid. Or, like, growing up with a husband that was abusive.
Mm.
Or being a beekeeper that are so important to the story, but not so important to the summary.
Mhm.
And so Olivia's parts are going to seem short, but that's why.
Okay.
Just know that her husband was abusive and he's an awful jackass and we
Okay.
hate him. Okay?
Yes, perfect.
So now we're in Lily's perspective and it's November, so remember we're going backwards. Lily and Asher are like the cutest couple. They're so loving to each other. They are sexually active. Like they're just like you get to see the real Lily and Asher, not like the oh we're fighting. And,
Mhm.
oh, how did she die? It's like, oh my gosh, they're so cute together. Lily goes with Asher to visit his dad. He's been having these like secret meetups with his dad and hasn't told his mom about it because he isn't sure how it's going to go over with Olivia. And so he'll meet up with his dad once a month and they just go to dinner and catch up.
Okay.
Lily's not impressed by Braden,
The douche.
Dad?
the dad.
Does
Braden.
Asher just not really get how abusive he was?
Or is he
'Cause
just
was
so
young?
desperate?
He
for
doesn't know because he was 6 and his mom didn't want to soil like the memory of his
Okay.
dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he just doesn't get it.
Okay.
Lily's not impressed by Braden, and things kind of end on like an awkward note.
Okay.
And on the way home, Asher's being like super defensive, like,
Oh.
you don't even know him. This is the first time you've met him. Like, you don't know everything. And then Lily's like, okay, you're right. I don't know him. Tell me about him. And then Asher's like, well, he's remarried. He has twins. And Lily's like, oh, tell me about the twins. And Asher's like, well, I haven't really met them.
Mm.
And Lily's like, oh, like, if they're a big part of your dad's life, how come you're not part of that picture? That seems weird. And Asher, again, gets super defensive, and he's like, you don't know everything. Like, he's my dad. He loves me. We're just not ready to, like, I haven't told my mom. He hasn't told his family. It's fine. It's whatever.
Mm.
But the more worked up he gets, the more, like, the faster he's getting in the car they're driving.
Oh.
Lily gets to the point where she's like, you're going too fast. Like, you need to slow down. What are you doing? And there are, like, cars honking at him. And so finally Asher stops and looks at Lily and was like, okay, I'm sorry, you're right, I was driving out of control, I just got so worked up, I'm sorry, let's just go home.
Mm-hmm.
And Lily is like, okay, that was really freaky. Like, this is a
Mhm.
side of Asher I haven't really seen very much,
Yeah.
but, like, if that's how he gets when he's, like, overreacting or gets angry, like,
Red flag.
red flag, right? So then we go to Olivia's perspective, and Olivia just keeps having these thoughts of, like, I know Asher didn't do it, but then she kind of is like, okay, but my ex-husband was quite abusive. Like, what if it affected Asher? She's worried that Asher's going to end up like Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been for all of Asher's life. That's just been a worry. So, back to Lily's perspective. At the beginning of November, Asher's avoiding Lily. And we don't really know why. But Lily knows why, and she just keeps mentioning, like, I shouldn't have told him. And she, like, regrets
Uh-oh.
whatever is said. After a few days, though, Asher and Lily do come back together, and they talk. And Asher apologizes for, like, hey, I'm sorry, I've been avoiding you, I just needed time to process. The thing I'm most hurt by is the fact that you didn't tell me sooner, because it makes me feel like you don't trust me. But we still don't know what
Okay.
was said.
Yeah.
We don't know what she regrets. We don't know what he needed time to process. We don't know. But we do know, beginning of November, they had a break, got back together, and in December,
They were fine.
yes, but then they had that fight again.
Because
They
the
got
dad.
back together.
Yeah.
Okay? So, January through April is the trial, and is the time Asher is in jail. His attorney is his uncle. Asher doesn't have a super strong case
Okay.
because he doesn't have an alibi because he was there, and he doesn't have any responses to any questions that are asked. Like, okay, well, how did she get to the bottom of the stairs? I don't know. She was just there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of thing. Like, his story's not super ironclad, so it's not looking super great for the defense.
Okay.
And it's like crime of passion. The boyfriend did it. Obviously, like that's
Mhm.
easy to sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. The defense finally has a small win because the prosecution? Is that the other side?
Sure.
Defense. Yeah.
Yeah, the prosecution. Yeah.
Okay. They are building this whole case on the fact that there were some text exchanges before Asher got to the house that Asher's like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm coming over. This ends now.
Mm.
And then Lily responds and says, don't bother. It's over.
Oh, don't.
But Asher never got that text.
Hmm.
And the defense team is able to prove that. And so they're able to, like, discount that whole piece of the evidence, which is what the prosecution?
Prosecution?
That's so foreign to me. The
Genetic.
prosecution was building it on because they were saying, like, he was saying it ends now. Like, what does it end mean? Like, somebody's life ended. Is that what it meant? She said, don't come, don't bother. And he didn't listen. Was he aggravated by that? So that was, like, a huge win for them.
Cool.
Because now where do they go from here?
Yeah.
Right? So while on trial, the person that did the autopsy is on the stand. And they just share what they found. And we realized that Lily died from blunt force trauma.
Ooh.
Which could mean what you're thinking.
Or she just hit her head on the stairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then Asher's uncle questions the forensic scientist and notices some missing information in the autopsy report. Something about genital information. Okay? And so the defense attorney is like, hey, how many autopsies did you do that day? Was Lily your last? Were you tired? Also, this forensic scientist, it's not his, like, full-time career. He just, like, helps out when there's, like, a need. And so that's what he's saying. He's like, hey, you don't do this very regularly. You were maybe tired. Like, is it possible that, like, there are some inconsistencies in your report and, like, you're claiming blunt force trauma, but, like, you know, trying to, like, discount what he says. And the forensic scientist says, no, I didn't skip that information. I left it out for a reason. I assumed you all knew. Lily is transgender. This is why Lily and Asher were fighting. Because Lily tells Asher, hey, I'm transgender. And Asher, again, does need time, does take a break. He just needed time to, like, process. Am I okay with this? What does this mean? And at the end of the day, Asher decides, I'm not in love with you because of what you are. I'm in love with you because of who you are. And that's why they get back together. But he did need time to process, which is hurtful.
Sure.
Olivia did not know that Lily was transgender. And Olivia doesn't even know if Asher knew prior. And the attorney doesn't know if Asher knew if Lily was transgender. And the attorney's like, don't tell me, I don't want to know. I'll build the case around the fact that you didn't know so they can't use it against you. Because now the defense team is going to say...
Like, this was a hate crime.
Not the defense team.
The prosecution.
The prosecution, yeah.
They could say, that you... Yeah, because
it's like a huge thing. It's called, like, trans panic. Olivia realizes she doesn't know very much about what it means to be transgender, what it's like. And there's another person in their community that is also transgender. And so Olivia goes to visit Elizabeth, formerly Edgar. Olivia is just like, hey, I know you don't know me, but, like, can you help me understand?
Guidance,
right? Yeah. Which, I'm not transgender, so I don't know how, like, accepting I would be to somebody approaching me. But also, like, I feel like that's good that Olivia's, like, reaching out.
But Elizabeth can say, no, it's not my job.
And Elizabeth does kind of at the first, because everybody knows the trial of Asher and Lily. And so at first Elizabeth is like, nah. But then Elizabeth is like, okay, like, let's just go talk, right? And the main thing that I feel like was important from this conversation is Elizabeth said, I think it's great that you're reaching out to find out more about transgender people. But the thing you need to understand is if you've met one transgender person, you've met one transgender person. Like, it's different for everyone.
Every experience is unique. Totally.
Olivia's also able to, like, process things and realizes that there are so many different animals and species in the world that are able to go from, like, male to female, or they're, like, gender fluid, but in, like, the animal form. How would you say that?
I think you nailed it. I don't know.
So then we go to Lily's perspective. And this part, I'm already getting emotional. Whew! This was more intense for me the second time. And I can't really pinpoint why. I just felt for Lily so much. But prior to moving to where Asher lives, they lived somewhere else before. And Lily had not fully transitioned yet, but was in the process of transitioning. She is very good at fencing, and at a fencing tournament, her dad shows up. And her dad is yelling, "That's my boy, that's my son," right? And everybody at the school is like, that was kind of weird. And news gets out that Lily's transgender. And so it just was kind of like not great.
He like outed
Mm-hmm.
her own history and her stuff. And yeah.
But Lily and her boyfriend go to the Valentine's Day dance. I'm already getting emotional.
Okay.
And it's beautiful, it's perfect, and Lily just feels like a princess. And then it comes time for like the king and queen to be crowned, and Lily is crowned both king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play Dude Looks Like a Lady, and they're all making fun of her, they're all laughing at her.
Like a Carrie moment where it's just awful.
Awful. And then I don't super remember this part because I kind of like was just in my head processing things, but they go to the parking lot and like Lily is fighting with her boyfriend and he like says some horrible, awful things, okay? So Lily goes home, fills the bathtub, and attempts to end her own life. Thankfully she's not successful, but she still attempts. And that's why Lily and her mom had moved to the new area. That's why Lily's like relationship is so strained with her dad, and that's why she's like wants nothing to do with it, right? Mm-hmm. So this is like October, which is before Asher finds out that anything about Lily becoming Lily, anything. And they're hanging out one day, and Lily's like, "Okay, I have something I need to tell you." And Ashley's like, "It's okay, I already know," and moves her scrunchie. She always wears the scrunchies. And Lily's like, "Yep, you're right, that's my big secret." And she kind of like loses her like
gumption.
Yeah, but she's so scared to share the fact that she's transgender because of what happened at the Valentine's Day dance. Like, it just would be so triggering. Also, are you crowned king and queen at a Valentine's Day dance? Maybe I wrote it down wrong. Maybe it was really homecoming.
Prom or something, yeah. Usually it's homecoming and prom. But, I mean,
it could be.
Every school's different.
Yeah. But after they talk about her depression and her suicide attempt is the first time that they are sexually active. So they were sexually active before he found out. But then even after finding out, they were still sexually active.
Okay.
There is a point, though, when Jail's not great.
Could figure. Could have guessed.
And Asher's struggling big time. And so there is a point when he self-harms because his uncle offers him, like, "Hey, you can do a plea deal and you'll spend this amount of time in jail, but you have to plead guilty. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if we take it to trial, like, if we don't win, then it's lifetime." So Asher's just going like, "I'm going to go to jail regardless." So that's why he self-harms. And so Olivia is like, "Okay, I can't have him in jail anymore. He's struggling. I can't have him self-harming." And so she reaches out to Brayden for the first time since Asher was 6. Mm-hmm. And she does say, "Hey, it's bad. Your son's in jail. We need help us out." Mm-hmm. And Brayden, the dad, is like, "He's been in jail for 4 months and he didn't contact me. Like, that's not cool." But also he does help out, and so he is released on bail, which is
that's good.
Good, right? So now it's May in the trial, and everybody's just convinced that it was Asher. Media, community, everybody. Olivia's even being like, not exiled. That sounds like, I don't know the right words to use. But, like, she goes to these markets to sell her honey, and, like, nobody comes and talks to her. Nobody buys her honey. Mm-hmm. There's even people that, like, vandalize. She drives a truck, and she had, like, her extra supplies in the truck, and they, like, smash all her jars. Like, things like that.
People are the worst.
So, Lily and Asher have a mutual friend named Mia. Mia testifies on the stand. Mm. And Mia talks about how Lily often had bruises and often, like, had seen Asher, like, pull Lily's arm or be a little bit gruff with her.
What?
So, again, Olivia's like,
looking great.
Shit, like, is he turning out like his father? Because that's exactly what he would do with me. Like, it started out more, like, that and then became more, right? And they even have pictures of it. Like, there was one time that Mia and Lily were having a sleepover, and they were in their pajamas, and they took a picture, and then after the picture, that's when Mia's like, this is bad. Like, are you okay? And Lily just brushes it off, but, like, you can see the bruises in the picture. So you're a little bit like, come on, Asher, what are you doing? But Lily was on hormone blockers for a long time, and after her suicide attempt is when her mom's like, okay, if you want to fully transition, like, you have my permission, because she was so young at the time.
Yeah.
Because her mom, like, she loves Lily. Like, she wants Lily to be happy. Like,
I want you here. I'd rather you here.
What's the alternative, right?
Yeah.
So they have the surgeon testify on the stand.
Okay.
And the prosecution, why do I always forget that word? The prosecution basically says, wouldn't it be obvious that she was transgender? Like, they're trying to make it seem like Asher had no idea, but, like, Asher would have known. And then the surgeon's like, well, I mean, the way we do things, like, we hide the scars, so it's like the crease of the body. So unless you were looking closely, like, you wouldn't really be able to tell.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, genital hair will cover it up. So, like...
And also, teenage boy doesn't care that much.
No, exactly.
He's not paying attention to the parts down there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, Olivia gets up on stand and testifies and talks about how great of a guy Asher is, how much she loves her son. But then she also shares about her abuse with Brayden. Yeah. Her intent was to be like, I know when someone's hurting someone else. I know what it's like.
Right.
That's not Asher. But it doesn't come off that way.
Dang.
Okay? And Asher is even like, not even my own mom believes me. So then, Asher testifies.
Okay.
And Asher is still claiming his innocence. And the defense attorney rings into him, and it's horrible and it's awful. And basically, they leave court that day with no hope. Olivia feels awful that her son thinks that she doesn't believe him. But Olivia's also like, do I think it's possible that he's hurt Lily before? Yeah. Like, have I seen like some, like, where he just overreacts and things like that? Yeah. Do I think he's possible of murder? No. So, Olivia's feeling awful, goes to the bar with her sister-in-law, her brother's wife, who's the lawyer, and the bartender gives them drinks on the house.
Oh.
And the sister-in-law, I don't remember her name, is like, well, what is this for? And the bartender points to a bruise on her arm and was like, I get it. No woman should have to go through that. And Olivia's like, mother effer. My brother has been abusing you this whole time. I'm not okay with that. And the sister-in-law's like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. Like, he doesn't touch me unless I want him to touch me. Like, it's not what you think. I just am on
like a blood thinner or something.
Estrogen blockers for something. And so she bruises easily. Her hormones are off. It's just this whole thing. And then the sister-in-law realizes Lily's transgender.
It could be something.
Has she been on hormone blockers? Does she bruise easily? What's going on?
Okay.
So then she reaches out to a forensic scientist friend who looks at the report again, and in the findings realizes it's possible that Lily has TTP.
Thrombotic? There's no way.
Let me see. I wonder if it will spark something for me. Yeah. Nope.
Let me see.
Is that not it? Or
No, that is what it is.
Okay.
Thrombotic, thrombi. Let's just try. Thrombotic, thrombocytopenic, purpura.
Good job.
So basically, it's a blood disorder where your blood clots easily, which is why she bruises easily. And it's highly possible she has it. And the reason why the forensic scientist thinks that is because the reason why it was stated that Lily died from blunt force trauma is because she had trauma to the head. However, typically, and I hope I'm getting this right, I'm not a doctor, but typically when you have blunt force trauma, where you're hit from one side of the brain, it also affects the other side of the brain because the hit is so intense.
And it hits the other side of your skull. Yeah.
Or at least there's like evidence of it on the other side, not necessarily like more trauma. Well, Lily only had injury on one side. So like, was it blunt force trauma? She did hit her head, yes. But was it? Or was it this blood disorder? Okay? And even Asher's starting to like, oh, like maybe she did have TTP. Because Asher stands by the fact that, like, yeah, I've grabbed her arm, yeah, I've, like, pulled her, but, like, I have not been, like, physical. Yeah. I have not been aggressive with her. So then, the jury deliberates, and deliberates, and deliberates, and it takes days and days and days, because you have to prove, without reasonable doubt.
And everybody has to be in agreement, too.
But now there's reasonable doubt. Okay? And they do find Asher not guilty.
Let's go, Asher.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Because it's highly possible Lily had TTP. There's no way to prove it. They didn't run the tests back then.
When they could.
Yeah, and they just didn't even know what to look for. But it is possible, okay? So now, Olivia is just trying to, you know, regain her image in the community to sell her honey.
Thinking. I'm thinking if we could have done it.
We both like, what's there?
You were like looking at like a bee flying by.
I was thinking.
So Asher is trying to like move on with his life, which is so hard after being in jail for 4 months and on trial for 6 months.
Everyone thinks you're.
Yeah.
And he's mourning.
He's grieving.
He's grieving. Yeah. Horrible. Okay. So Maya, who is the mutual friend of Lily and Asher.
Mia or Maya?
Maya.
Okay. Because you've said Mia before.
Oh.
Today?
Because I wanted to say Mia Thermopolis Rinaldi.
Okay, well, it's Maya for sure. Okay. It's Maya. Like, whoever I mentioned before, Maya.
Okay, yeah. Same girl.
But now I'm second guessing. Was it Mia or Maya? A few weeks go by, and Maya comes and visits Asher, which they were best friends since, like, 1st or 2nd grade. So, like, Olivia was a little bit like, well, what took you so long? But also, Maya feels awkward because, remember, she testified against him.
Yeah.
So, like, it's awkward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And things are strained when they're, like, talking. And Maya says, I'm sorry, Asher. Like, you should have never even been there. She texted you not to come. Mm-hmm. And Olivia's like, wait.
How did you know?
That was dismissed. Maya freaks out. I didn't mean to.
Maya killed her?
It was an accident.
Maya.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So what had happened was while Lily and Asher were kind of like on the break because Lily was like, oh my gosh, you guys. I didn't share the most horrible part.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to know it.
I know. So Lily and her dad always had a strange relationship. Lily's dad was never okay with Liam pretending to be Lily, Lily, dressing up as a girl, nothing. And so it got to the point where Lily's dad was like, hey, you're going to an all-guys school. You have no choice. You have to wear a uniform. And so Lily a little bit rebels and grows out her hair, paints her nails. But Lily's experience at this all-boys school is not great because she's different. They make fun of her. They beat her up. It's horrible. Mm-hmm. And when she started painting her nails, the dad got a call from like the headmaster, whatever position, and basically blames Lily. Like, of course, guys are going to freak out because look what she's doing to her nails, kind of thing. So going home, the dad's like, I told you, you're not allowed to do this, and you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing yourself. Like, this is not okay. Ties her up to a chair, buzzes her hair.
Oh.
Which is horrible. So that's why Lily and her mom left to go to this new school where the Valentine's Day incident happened.
Oh.
Okay?
Trauma after trauma.
I know. Okay? So, Lily never told Asher any of this, what happened with her dad, why she has such a strange relationship with him. Lily actually told Asher that her dad was dead. So when he found out that that wasn't true, Asher was like, oh, I'm going to do this awesome thing and reconnect them, not realizing the trauma after trauma after trauma.
Gosh.
And so that's why it was so intense for Lily seeing her dad. That's why she was like, I just need time. I need space. That's why she, like, ghosted Asher for some time. Her intent wasn't to, like, end things with Asher. She just needed time to, like, process her emotions.
We slowly get closer, and Adam gets way over there.
So, while they were on this, like, break, like, 10-day no contact timeline, Mia, I just freaking did it.
I like Mia, though.
Maya realizes how much it's, like, breaking Asher apart. And Maya has a secret crush on Asher.
Okay.
And so, and kind of, like, secretly in the back of her mind is like, I know we're in game. Like, he just has to, like, date all these other girls to figure it out. So Maya goes to Lily, who's like, what are you doing? Like, you're just stringing him along. You might as well just cut ties because Maya wants a chance with Asher.
Right.
And Lily's like, you're right. I am stringing him along. I'm just going to text him to come over. We're going to talk it out. Like, we can work through this. But Maya's like, no, that's the opposite of what I wanted to happen.
Right.
So she grabs Lily's phone to text Asher. And I didn't share this, but in the trial, the evidence against Asher, which kind of was a big part that maybe would have made you understand why he was a suspect, was because there was evidence of a scuffle in the bedroom. Things had been knocked over, things like that. And Asher claimed he didn't go to Lily's bedroom. Well, they found fingerprints.
Well, of course his fingerprints are going to be there.
Yep, and that's what Asher was saying. But the defense was like, nope, you said you've never been in her room. And he was saying, no, I just was meaning that day I didn't go into the room. So kind of like, that's why he was the suspect. So that was the scuffle, was like she was trying to grab her phone, text Asher, and so Maya's the one that texted, don't bother, it's over, but they never sent it. And then as they were running out, Maya, like, kind of pushes Lily, and Lily, like, falls down the stairs, hits her head. Maya freaks out, runs away, and then that's when Asher comes, sees Lily. And it's everything Asher said. And that's the end of the story. So, the reason why I'm so emotional, which I guess I don't need to explain myself, but the Valentine's Day dance, horrible. Like, imagining that happening to anybody, horrible. Mm-hmm. But I just felt for Lily so much because she never stood a chance.
Yeah.
Her dad didn't accept her, traumatized her. Her boyfriend at the time didn't accept her, traumatized her. And then now, like, she was, 17 and is now dead? Like, never stood a chance. And I just felt for Lily so much reading this because she still had so much life to live and was never given the opportunity to. And Olivia, the mom, even says the ironic thing is she didn't die for being a girl. She died because she was a girl, because it was just stupid girl jealousy drama that Lily got wrapped up in.
True.
But it's not because of the transition.
Right.
And that was kind of like the irony of it all. Yeah. And it's like Ava, the mom,
it's so
like,
sad for her.
Her husband did horrible things to her daughter. She was trying to do right by her daughter. Now her daughter's dead, so what does she do with her life? And that, like, I just need to know that Ava has a happy ending, but it just ended with Ava moving, and we don't know where she ends up. Mm-hmm. So, authors, part 2, please. I need to know that Ava's okay. No, I don't want to know Ava's perspective. I want Asher
just a short little epilogue.
That's tough.
So yeah.
What a crazy story.
The thing I did love about this story is, there's many things I loved about this story. One, it was written by a trans author.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is huge because I don't even know what this trans author went through. But for me to share a story of like a transgender character, I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get it. Mm-hmm. So I loved that it was somebody that got it. And in the author's note after, they even said, I'm not here to, like, persuade you. I'm just here to help you open your mind. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the story really did do a good job of, like, okay, is it worth somebody's life? No. And things like that. Like
this is not based on a true story, but based on thousands
experiences. And, like, it really does cause you to, like, stop and think about things and make your own decision. It's not this is what you should think. And I think it does a beautiful job of just helping open people's minds. So there you have it.
Poor Lily. I would have 1000% cried too.
Yeah.
I probably will when I read it.